Hello everybody and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, depending on what day of the week on what video you are watching. And welcome to Oatford. Yeah, Oatford. It's been a bit on it. I do like this map. Oatford's a relatively small map. It was a new creator, popped up, made Oatford. A nice variation of sort of nice lengthed routes. The routes aren't too long. Some of them are very short. Some of them are okay in length. There's nothing stupidly long. Nice scenery. A bit of variety. A basic, bog standard quality map. It's just a nice map. It is basic. It's not your highly detailed West Country job. But it is a nice basic map to have a little drive on and to test out some buses on. However, my favourite route out of all of them, purely because it goes down some roads that a local service in Sheepton goes down, unlike the main service 90, is the route that we are driving. That is the SC1, the Oatford school service to Sheepton. Now, I prefer driving it to Sheepton rather than driving it in because I end up having to wait everywhere for timing points. And when you're doing a return journey and a school run, you kind of just keep going because the sooner you get there, the sooner you finish. So yeah, I like the SC1, so I thought we would bring out the lovely Studio Polygon Renown, number 309 YC51LYD, that I believe, if memory serves me correctly, had quite a sad demise involving fire. And we're going to take a little bit, hopefully it doesn't do this in game today, be a bit embarrassing. I'm going to take a run with this on the SC1 to Sheepton, so I'm going to get the vehicle all set up and logged in now. And I can't actually remember the ticket to log in. I've just realised I've made a fatal error there. And I'm going to do the destination manually, purely because I don't believe it'll have the letters on, and that's going to cause us a bit too much hassle. I've got some daylight running lights on. There we go. On the old go. Now, I cannot remember this code. I don't believe it starts, is it? Yeah. No, I cannot remember the code. So we'll just drive without it. And just let everybody on. Because in fairness, anyway, they should all have passes. And we also have no destination blind. That's also very exciting. So this is going so well so far. Really, really is. Joys. So yes, we'll take this on a non-blinded run on the SC1 service. This is the most school run of a run you can get. Basically, we can just pretend here that Chansdiv have had a slight shortage of buses and we've got to send one down with a slight destination wiring issue. So it's come out to do the school run and then it will return to the depot, so we can put some sort of magic logic with that and obviously just ignore that the machine isn't switched on. So yeah, I do like the SC1. I do like it a lot more when the bus that I'm driving it does have a working destination blind, but hey ho, these things happen. And I do also like it when I actually remember the login for the ticket machine. But we'll just ignore that. This is just like we're covering an afternoon school. It's all a pre-booked, prepaid school run. So we don't need the ticket machine. And we've just had to take this bus out as just a last-minute cover. So that's the narrative that we're going with today. Let's just hope there's nobody trying to get on the bus. Well, there we go. That lasted a while, didn't it? Let them on. Hello. Just pretend we've got a paper destination blind somewhere. So there we go. So believe it or not, now I've actually driven one of these in real life. So this is actually the first time that I've driven this in game since I actually drove a real life one. It's very strange feeling. Very, very strange feeling. Only on that one, I didn't forget my login on the ticket machine. So that's why I purposely haven't looked up the login on this one, because I don't want to get it mixed up with my own in real life. So that's why I've not looked it up. It's not that, is it? No, I have no idea then. Absolutely not a clue. But yeah, why I like the SC1 is because it doesn't go down that shopping centre horrible bit to go down like 90 does, and you get to go through some of the villages in this as well that the 90 doesn't go down, but the 88s and 89s do. Well, some of them do, depending on your villages. So now I'm going to put up a random, I'm going to change this slightly, purely so that we are now advertisers offloading only. Just going to pretend that there was like a college or something nearby there. As we are technically speaking a school run, we're not supposed to be picking everybody up, so hopefully that solves the problem. Because that's the only issue with this route, as it is a school run, it should just be a school service. Especially if it's got letters in, you tend to find that if a service has letters in, it is certainly not a open door public service if it's a school run. Oh, there we go. I tend to find your 900s, your 800s, 400s, stuff like that. If they're school services, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they're also registered public bus services that you can catch. But services that sort of have an A, B, P, A, stuff like that, and a few letters in them, they tend to be a lot more closed door. So that's why if we do that slightly with our blinds, it does the job. Fun fact as well, something that you'd also like to know as a fun fact, when you do have to press the door buttons in, and you have to press the button for a bit of time before the air releases and the doors actually open on the Renown, that is actually a thing. That is actually a real life thing. It's not like something that happens on the odd Renown, it's a general bus thing. With the B10s, you have to hold the button in. If you do not hold it in long enough, the doors will simply not open. So a fun fact there, if you ever wanted to find out what. So something that I found out about. So yeah, it's interesting. Lovely motors though, the Renowns. Lovely, lovely motors. I mean, they nowadays they are getting a bit tighter, unfortunately. Purely, that was close. Purely due to the age of them. They are getting a bit tired and a bit slower than they used to be and stuff like that. But especially with electric buses off the mark now, showing them up a bit. But they are still solid buses. Really comfortable buses to drive. Don't get me wrong, it takes a bit of getting used to how long they are, but lovely buses nevertheless. This does also not happen in real life. Cars would generally squeeze through gaps as big as that. Generally. And not make me impale against a post if I can help it. So we're now going to go back to give these cars as much room as they possibly need to get past. Almost as if we're passing a truck. Only just got round there before network rail van, or not work fail van took my mirror out. Yeah, we're going to stop doing the comparisons between realism and simulation because it's purely becoming a bit of a joke. Just a little bit. How are we doing for time? We are late. I mean, we did set off a few minutes late, don't get me wrong, but it's never a score and I've actually been late on, so... Definitely a bit slower than the veiling. Come on, boss. By the time you've got all your speed up, everything got to slow down. The cooling fan's not good. That really isn't good. As the last time I believe 309 and its cooling fan on, it did not end well. It was on full whack, is that what I was saying? But yeah, I believe it was this one. It was either this one or I think a second one as well. Very near the end. Definitely one very near the end. I'm sure two of them had engine fires really, really near the end. Because there was 10... Oh, what was it? 10... Was it 1081 or something? 1085? 85 sticks in. Oh, it might have been 1087, 1085, 1087 or something like that. One of those had that really bad burn down fire job at Bramham Park. Just after Bramham Park along the Thrasher section of the 7 between... It's between Fauna and Bramham along that section. And Renown burnt back end of it out. Never saw the road again as it overheated and just went kaput. And then quite ironically, the replacements, one of the B7R of the Eclipses. Oh, which one was that? 18... Oh, I'm trying to think. Because 1853 is still with us. I think it was it was either 1862, 1863, something like that. One of them might be 1862. That seems to stick in my head. Well, one of those Eclipse was one of the ones that wasn't a 7 branded one that arrived just after the 7 ones did. The ones that ended up being branded for the 7. The X mainline ones burnt itself down there again. But this time there was a video of it, of people evacuating the bus, when there was still a bus. And then when the fire service had finished, unlike the Renown, showing how robust they were, it was only an engine compartment fire, so it was only the back end that was a little bit squishy. There wasn't much of a bus left by the time they'd finished extinguishing the fire in this eclipse. I think to such a degree that I'm pretty certain half the bus were gone. It were good over and half a bus were gone. I know the gutter, they'd stripped part of it for some spares that was still salvageable. Part of the body frame was stripped, but from memory I think it was about half the bus just didn't exist anymore. So there we go, so she's finished school and she's off to do a shift at the power station. That's fair. Right, to say we don't go down there, do we? No, we don't. Excellent. I didn't think we did on a school run, but it's been a while since I've done the SC1, so... But it is a nice route. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is basic scenery. You're not talking West Country. However, I absolutely love this map. Just purely because the roads are nice, the routes are steady, and it is the kind of map that if you do just want a few hours with your music blasting at full pelt and you want to just drive a relic of a bus that you really, really like at the moment on the game and just have a relax, because if that's what relaxes you, that at one point it did for me, until I started driving them, then this is the map for you. I mean, I've spent many an hour just going up and down on the 90s, purely because the 90s are just such a nice route. I mean, the timetabling on them is lovely. It's a steady run. There's enough going on, but not too much that it just starts to wind you up. It's really, really nice. And if you have been to Oxford, you recognise Thames Travel and you'll recognise why it's called the Oatford Bus Company. You're not gonna get past me, 'cause you didn't let me through the gap. There you go. God, I can hear the calling for a whack on this bus. I'm having to go over a curb because the van stopped in an awkward spot. Yeah, the traffic in this is definitely not realistic. Don't get me wrong, there are some. However, nothing compares to a van stopping on a corner with a long bus, not moving forward, not moving back. You do not get that. Very, 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 very rare that you get that. The fact that I've had to move out of the way of cars. There's nobody getting off, so why am I stopping? Let's keep going then. Yeah, this does not sound healthy. This is definitely a bus that has just been acquired, transferred, semi-repaired. And they've cut short my score run. This is definitely that bus. Sounds like it's about to take off. You're not getting back on. I'm about to say, I hope you're aware of that. I've shut the doors and I've gone. Sort of jumped off, disappeared, then respawned and ran towards the bus. This village is busier today. This is the entire reason why I do the SC1. I just wish the 90 came around here as well. Because if the 90 came around here, the SC1 wouldn't be quite as special. So I'd just be able to just do it on the 90. But this is the entire reason I do this route, because I just think this section's cool. Going through this village instead of going on the squiggly main road that does have two sharp bends that I do not like. To such a degree that sometimes I have come around this village just to avoid them. So I've got enough time. Well, he wasn't slowing down, cranky. It really doesn't sound healthy. It also feels very low on the ground. Yeah, it is. It's definitely low on the ground as is. Don't think you can mark a bus as defective on OMSI. I think that's kind of beyond it. What I also like about this bus is if the fan has come on, the fan stays on. The buses where the fans go on and then you brake and then they go off again unrealistically really bug me. Because it's like sometimes, especially when I'm driving the B10BLE, if I absolutely floor it, I've worked hard to get the cooling fan on and then it just goes off when you stop and it really annoys me. Sometimes though, I mean, if the bus does actually register that it's getting warm and stuff like that, in realism, it will actually come back on again. But unfortunately not too often. So there we go. So we'll move this, we'll park this round at the depot and then call that the end of a very interesting run. Very unprepared run. It's definitely riding low. Definitely slow on the cooling fans on full whack. This is This is the bus that's doing what I believe the vehicle in real life did and is dying a death. And that is the bronze brake. If you ever wondered. Off. Thank you. There we go. So that was an interesting run on the SC1 service. That was definitely one of the more interesting trips I've taken on that service. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice place to end and get the screenshot, but definitely one of the more interesting buses. Very, very tired sounding B10. I don't know if it's just the set VAR or what, but it just did not seem happy on that route today on this score run. Very, very strange. But anyway, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of nearly 6,000 backseated engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains, and more, there's some fun on there for everyone with additional 21 videos added per week. Once again, though, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video I make. Goodbye for now. Bye.